Afternoon to all the grade 8s. Welcome to today's short lesson. Today we're going to take a look at word twins and word opposites, or as we know it, antonyms and synonyms. Now, first of all, I would like you to focus on the following because at the end of the lesson, I would like you to know what is a synonym and what is an antonym. So you should be able to define it. And then I also want you to be able to identify antonyms and synonyms in sentences. And then lastly, you also have to be able to use them correctly in your own writing. Now, I'm going to give you these two paragraphs and I'm going to ask you to compare these two paragraphs as we read them together. So the first paragraph on the left is, the big dog lived in a big house with a big yard. Every day the big dog chased a big ball and slept under a big tree. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the big dog. Okay, so let's look at the paragraph on the right. So carefully compare these two paragraphs. The huge dog lived in a spacious house with a large yard. Every day the giant dog chased an enormous ball and slept under a massive tree. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the great dog. Okay, could you spot the difference? Do you see what the difference is? Is there a difference in meaning? Is it two completely different paragraphs? So let's take a closer look at what the difference is. In the first paragraph, I've put in green the word big. The big dog lived in a big house with a big yard. Every day the big dog chased a big ball and slept under a big tree. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the big dog. How do you feel, right? What is your reaction when you read this paragraph or when you hear this paragraph? I think you're bored because it's repetitive and it's uninteresting. But let's take a look at the next paragraph. If we take the word big and we replaced it with different words that has the same meaning, doesn't it sound better? The huge dog lived in a spacious house with a large yard. Every day the giant dog chased an enormous ball and slept under a massive tree. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the great dog. So, using synonyms makes writing more interesting and descriptive, and it is much better. So, in these two paragraphs, you can see that all the colored words are synonyms for the word big. So, I wonder if you knew that there were so many synonyms for the word big. So, what are synonyms? So, a synonym is a word with the same or similar meaning as another word. So, I always remember it. Synonyms start with an S. So, synonyms are words with the same also starts with an S, same meaning. So, remember that. Examples is, for example, happy, joyful, glad. All three of those words have the same meaning. But be very careful. You have to remember, just because two words mean almost the same thing, it doesn't mean we can swap them anywhere into a sentence. It has to fit into that specific sentence. Always check if the synonym sounds right and fits the meaning of the sentence. I'm going to use the word big again. So, for example, there are three sentences. The first one on the left, he made a big mistake. Now you can say you can say it in the sentence. You can use big in the sentence. He baked a big cake. Or you can say a synonym, he made a huge mistake. Or you can use the same synonym in a sentence, he baked a huge cake. That fits into the sentence, into the meaning of the sentence. But another synonym for big in the sense of mistake is he made a serious mistake. If you made a big mistake, it's a serious mistake. But you cannot use serious in the sentence, he baked a serious cake. It doesn't fit into that sentence. So that's very important. Remember that you have to make sure that the synonym you use fits into the meaning of the sentence. So I want you to see. Give me the synonym for the underlined word. The test was difficult. Can you think of what is a word with the same meaning for difficult? If you have something like the test was hard, then it's correct. Or you can even say the test was challenging. That would also be right. Another example, she gave a beautiful speech. Can you think of another word for beautiful that we can use here in this sentence so that it fits the sentence and makes meaning? So if you thought of something like she gave a lovely speech, it would be correct. Or she gave a wonderful speech. A word like interesting would even fit into this sentence as a synonym. The movie was funny. So you could say the movie was amusing, or you could say the movie was hilarious. Both of those words have the same meaning as funny. Okay, let's compare these two paragraphs. Now we're going to move on. I want you to compare these two paragraphs. In the morning, the sky is bright and the air feels fresh. Children are awake, getting ready for school, and the streets are busy with cars and people. Everything feels lively and noisy as the day begins. And then compare it to the paragraph on the right. At night, the sky becomes dark and the air turns cool. Most children are asleep, the streets are quiet, and the town feels peaceful and still. Now I'm asking you the question again. Can you spot the difference between these two paragraphs? Okay, let's take a closer look. There I've highlighted certain words. I've put certain words into different colors. Morning, and then I have night. So you can see that that is the opposite, right? It's the opposite. The opposite of morning is night. Then we have the sky is bright. Right? At night, the sky becomes dark. So bright and dark can be opposites in that sentence. The air feels fresh. The air turns cool. That can be opposites in that paragraph. Children are awake. Children are asleep. Okay, that's opposites. And then we have streets with busy cars. Streets are busy with cars. And then we have streets are quiet. And then we have lively and noisy, and we have peaceful and still, or you can even say peaceful and quiet. So all these words in colors are opposites, right? So the opposites and opposites we call antonyms. So what are antonyms? As we've just said, an antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. So examples are hot and cold, easy versus difficult, kind, you are a kind person, you are a mean person, start and finish. Those are examples of opposites. But I want to give you the same warning as I gave you with the synonyms. When you choose an antonym, make sure it fits the idea of the whole sentence, not just the word by itself. Some opposites work in one sentence but sounds wrong in another sentence. So let's take a look at an example. The word light. Opposite for light can be two different things. It depends on the sentence. If I say the bag I carry is light, then the opposite will be the bag that I carry is heavy. If I say the dress that I'm wearing is of a light color, then the opposite of that light will be the dress that I'm wearing is of a dark color. So there it depends on the sentence. The box is light, not heavy. It will be wrong to say the box is light, not dark. Okay, right, more examples. The tea was too hot to drink. After a few minutes, it became cold. Which two words in that sentence form the opposite? Do you spot them? Okay, if you said hot and cold, you are 100% right. Okay, the next sentence. The maths problem is very easy. Yesterday's one was really difficult. Can you spot the difference? If you said easy and difficult, yes, those two are opposites. Those two are antonyms. Our last sentence, we will start our project today and finish it next week. Which two words have the opposite meaning in that sentence? If you said start and finish, you are 100% correct, and then you've got this. Right. Remember that prefixes can also form antonyms. Sometimes we can add a prefix. If you remember what a prefix is a group of letters that we add to the beginning of a word. So some antonyms are formed with prefixes. There are 3 examples. We have the word happy. Sad is an antonym for happy, but otherwise you can take the 2 letters un, the prefix un, and you add it to happy and you make it unhappy. Honest, then a liar will be lie will be the opposite of honest, but you can also make it dishonest. Add the prefix dis, dis. And then we have correct. Another opposite of correct is wrong, but you can also make the opposite by adding the prefix in, incorrect. So those are examples of prefixes. So let's just quickly see if you remember. I want to ask you, is this a synonym or is this an antonym? In this small tiny, will that be a synonym or will that be an antonym? If you said synonym, you are 100% correct. Love, hate, can you remember that? Do you know what that is, a synonym or an antonym? It's definitely an antonym because it's 2 completely different emotions. Right, begin and start, those will be synonyms because they have the same meaning. The opposite of begin will be finish. Right, up and down, those will be antonyms. And then the last one, angry and furious. If you are angry, you're very angry at somebody, it will be the same. It will be the same as being furious. Right, and so that will be a synonym. So let's quickly wrap up and recap. Remember, synonyms are words with similar meanings. Antonyms are words with opposite meanings. The examples that we've used, joyful, happy. For synonym and for an antonym, sad and happy. And then remember, it should fit into the meaning or the context of the sentence or the paragraph. That's very important. It's not just a word that you can fill in anywhere. So read, learn words so that you can have a lot of synonyms and antonyms that you can use in your writing to make it more interesting. And on that note, I say thank you that you joined me today. Good afternoon.